Hi there, and welcome back to my Halloween Horrorthon. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing a little movie called The Initiation, starring Daphne Zuniga. It's got a great cast, actually. It's got Daphne Zuniga, you'll see some names on here. Clue Gallagher, Vera Miles is in this. James Reed from when I was a kid, he was in the first season of Remington Steele. He would later go on to do a lot of TV and soap opera work. And there's some connections there actually related to that. So I'm going to get into the movie in a second. But the movie was written by Charles Pratt Jr., who is probably most famously known actually for that, for his work writing in soap operas, especially stuff like Santa Barbara. He worked pretty extensively along the soap opera line, and you can really tell that because one of the lead actresses in this movie is a girl named Hunter Tylo, and when it comes to actresses from the 80s, Hunter Tylo is one of the most beautiful you're going to find, right next up there with Deborah Shelton. To be completely honest with you, in my opinion, Hunter Tylo is stunning. And she is stunning to this very day. But she is at probably her most beautiful in this, and we'll get to her in a little bit. But basically, the story of the initiation, we'll get into that first, is there's a girl named Kelly. Now she's an amnesiac from 9, and back. She's told by her parents that she fell out of a treehouse when she's young, and she can't remember anything before the age of 9. She's been having recurring nightmares since she's been a kid, since she's been about 9 or 10 years old, about a fire. Around this time, she's in college, and she's studying she's doing dream research because of this recurring nightmare that she's had over and over again. There she meets her TA, her teaching assistant, the teaching assistant there that who's played by James Reed, and he's studying dreams. So they quickly find out, well, not quickly, but they find out over time that, well, he finds out before she does, that what she's having isn't a dream, but there's a repressed memory that's the key to unlocking her entire past. A burning man that's lit in flames, a horrific nightmare, and that just keeps on going and going. And there's a lot of duality in the imagery here. It's actually a wonderfully shot film. It's not hard to really figure this one out. It's not one that's going to be really, really hard to figure out, like what the big twist is. They telegraph it in a few places, but they telegraph it well, and I like that. I like the fact that they don't cheat you. One of my biggest gripes with one of my favorite films, Friday the 13th, the original film, is that there's no way really for you to know that the killer is Pamela Voorhees. There's really no way to figure that out. Once she comes on, you're pretty sure she's a killer at that point, but nothing's been kind of as led up to that. Now, this character is also one of these off-screen characters that has been seen, but we really haven't known that you've seen the character before that. Now, all that being said, it plays it nice. There are ways to figure out and I'm going to go in spoiler territory in a little bit, who the killer actually is, because it's one of these mystery ones. It's got so it's like a very violent Murder, She Wrote type of feel. And I said that specifically for a reason, because the producer of this film is actually Bruce Lansbury from Murder, She Wrote. The director of this film, Larry Stewart, is also known for directing much television, and including the series Murder, She Wrote. There's an uncredited director by the name of Peter Crane who also worked on the series Murder, She Wrote. So, more than likely, the producer and the directors worked together a lot, and they would go on to work together in Murder, She Wrote, which Bruce, of course, is related to Angela Lansbury, the star of Murder, She Wrote. So I think it's her son. Just got to make sure, because I know he worked on another show too that I watched called Mission Impossible. He actually took that over, but I'm pretty sure it's the son of a brother. Hey, look at that. Younger brother. I was going to say son. Yeah, he's 87. He's definitely not when he died. So he's definitely not he died this year, actually. Oh. And he had a twin brother as well, which goes into this one. So basically, there's an initiation. So Kelly, who's played by Daphne Zuniga, has to go in with her with her, basically her sorority sisters, or the, sorority sisters to be. The main one that we want to focus on. There's Marcy, who's like the virginal one. There is a character of Ralph, kind of like a comedian type character who's kind of like hiding in there to help kind of like scare the girls. You know how that always works out, right? And there's Allison, played by Hunter Tylo. She is the girl that gives the prerequisite nudity in this film. And like I mentioned before, Hunter Tylo is an extremely, extremely beautiful woman. She's drop dead gorgeous. So, there are many times that I'm watching one of these like slasher movies or exploitation films, and they'll have this really good-looking girl, and then they'll have this other girl that's going to be prerequisite nudity girl, and a lot of times, never the twain shall meet. Not in this case. This case, it does it right. Here's one thing you should know right away. 80s slasher films I pretty much have this kind of formula to them. Either it's going to be this killer that's almost like a supernatural deity that you're going to know who it is, that's going to be just stalking, slashing, or if it's like this, and like say an early 80s one, what's going to be in a lot of cases is there's going to be a faceless killer, someone that you're not going to know till the end. There's going to be a little bit of a twist, and they're going to basically focus on the mystery aspect of it, and there'll be some decent kills and some changing up of some weapons along the way. And that's the way this one works. It's not an overtly gory film, nor should it be. It's very, very much a mystery film. Hands down, it is like a film, like it is a true like a mystery film, and there are clues there along the way, little hints to let you in on what the twist is going to be. It's pretty early on that you can figure out that Clu Gallagher really isn't her actual father, and that the guy that you see on fire, well, that is her dad. The use of the mirrors throughout the film, and the way that she gets transfixed when she sees them, leads up to the fact that you can see it coming that the killer isn't actually going to be the dad, the scarred dad that they find out about in the asylum, but there's somebody else in that asylum too, and that his we're getting to spoiler territory right now. It's her twin sister. Daphne Zuniga does a good job playing both these roles. The twin sister is only on screen at the end of the film. Everybody actually is really likable, and this is the key to making a good slasher film. A lot of people will tell you that it's just the kills, it's just the gore, but no, you gotta to have a really good 80s slasher film. There's a mixture of things you gotta have. You have to have the prerequisite nudity. That has to be in there. It's a slasher film is an exploitation film, and a really good slasher film, a really, really good one, is going to have every one of those key elements. So you have the nudity. You're going to have like you're going to have the interesting characters. You're going to have characters that are likable, that you actually can like. There's always going to be that bitchy character, and here it's an actress who's playing a character by the name of Megan. And basically, she's really bitchy to Daphne Zuniga's character because her boyfriend, who is kind of interested in Daphne Zuniga, and she's pretty much not interested in him. The older professor guy, James Reed, he's kind of the boyfriend character in this, and it's nice to see that for a change. Thank God, there's no Where's Paul scene where this guy's dead at the end. He actually manages to survive it. It's a great little film. Basically, once the murders really start happening, it's all set in an apartment store, basically in this building where the Fairchild building, where they basically have to go in and get this the thing that is called, it's prank night, the initiation prank night. And what they have to do is you have to go in there and get and this is what they think you have to do, and get like a security guard's uniform. What's actually going on is Megan, the leader of the sorority, is getting them in there so that she can scare them and like lock them in there, so that pretty much they're terrified, and she's cruel. That's kind of the thing she does. But people slowly started getting picked off until we get to the revelation at the end of the film that that Kelly has a twin sister named Terry, who was the one that stabbed her mother's lover, who would become her mother's husband. There's a lot of it to explain. Basically, she and her sister woke up. She saw her mother with a man that wasn't her husband, who was actually the CEO of a company that their real father worked for. Terry stabbed him and caused an accident, which caused their father to go up in flames. So basically, when Terry escaped from the mental asylum and would go on a reign of terror, what happened was the dad would go behind, pretty much go follow behind Terry and and slowly start like hiding the bodies, pretty much taking care of his daughter, trying to take care of both of his daughters. The guy is a little mentally unstable, but he's not a killer. He doesn't want anybody to be killed, but he doesn't want his daughter to be like arrested or hurt either. So basically, what he's doing is he's finding his daughter's messes and he's cleaning them up. It's a fun film. I really, really enjoyed The Initiation. I've mentioned before that this is one of my favorite slasher films. It's not that there's any extra special twist to it, or there's anything that would make it go like, okay, this has got the extra gore scenes, or it's got a proliferation of nudity, or it's just that it's one of these films that it has exactly everything that it needs to have in the right amount. And the movie itself, how long was this one? 97 minutes. Doesn't go on too long. It's in that sweet spot for a slasher film. Everything is set up and goes along in a nice logical way. You don't completely explain the sister thing, but I'm kind of glad that they didn't have this kind of like this psycho like ending where basically there's some psychiatrist or something at the end just explaining everything. That's usually the scene where people say the one failed scene in Psycho is that scene where the psychiatrist comes in and just does that exposition dump. It doesn't do it here. Basically, we get everything moves well. Everything moves well into from one scene goes right into the other. The clues are put there. It's really well directed. It's got a great cast. The actors and actresses are extremely likable. Hunter Tylo is gorgeous. Daphne Zuniga is gorgeous. James Reed is charming self. I've always found James Reed to be one of those engaging actors that really doesn't get the credit that he should. Recently, he played a kind of a bad guy, psycho character on the soap opera Days of Our Lives. A character by the name of Clyde, I think. I haven't been watching a lot of I used to watch a lot of these soap operas, especially. But I didn't know James Reed was on, or I definitely would have watched, because I'm actually a huge fan of his, and was extremely disappointed when they dropped his character Murphy during the second season of Remington Steele. Vera Miles is incredible in this. She does a great job. She has a small role, but she really, really hits home when everything starts happening and she realizes that things are happening the way they're happening again. We see like her sanity kind of like it's hitting her hard. Basically, the sins of the past, the fact that she's lied to her daughter all these years, her amnesiac daughter, and told her that this happened, that she passed off her lover as her daughter's dad. It's an incredibly engaging, fun slasher film. It's not that it's special, but it's definitely special to me. It does everything right, from cast, direction, writing. I just love this one across the board. The Initiation is a great film. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend you check it out. I would really love to have the Arrow edition of this, because Arrow's put out like a really good edition with like features. The only feature on this one here really is the trailer, which I didn't watch before the film because I wanted to go in. Even though I'd seen this film and it was still pretty fresh in my mind. I knew like the twist going into this one. It's just a film that I really love, and it's one of those. I love slasher movies. I'm a child of the '80s, but I can tell you a good slasher film from a bad slasher film. I can tell you something that's just been, in my opinion, that's just been kind of cranked out. Something that actually hits it, it hits a home run with it. And this one does that. It's really good. It's well directed, well written. The cast is fantastic. In a lot of these slasher films, they have like they'll put in like an older actor to kind of like to anchor it, to give it kind of a name value. This one, they had two. They had Clu Gallagher and they had Vera Miles. Both of them, like Clu Gallagher doesn't have a large part in the film, but Clu Gallagher is always a solid actor. He would actually go on to be on Murder, She Wrote a few times as well. There's a big Murder, She Wrote connection to The Initiation. So if you're a fan of Murder, She Wrote, maybe you want to watch Initiation as well. It's a fantastic little film. If you're there's a where Charles Pratt Jr. wrote so many soap operas. There's kind of a fun little reference to soap operas in one of the lines that the girl says about the paper that she's writing. There's a really good scene that I got to mention. They follow this security guard, and this is where I think the film really succeeds. We follow the security guard around, and he's doing his rounds, and you know somebody's there. You kind of know somebody's watching him, but he really doesn't know. He's got this feeling, but there's nothing solid there. And there's a scene at the end, and it's a fairly lengthy sequence, where he comes up and he tries on these sunglasses, and like there's this basically sunglasses display, and he takes them off. When he looks when he sees the reflection in the sunglasses, you can see like some part of somebody's body, like kind of closely behind him, and he gets killed shortly after that. It's a really it's just, some people take it as a throwaway scene, but it's a really well done scene. It just hit me like that scene of when I was watching the movie. That scene is like where I said, this is the thing that I want to talk about when I come to this review. This scene here, this is the scene that really impressed me. I'm watching the movie, I'm enjoying the movie, but the sunglasses scene is like, okay, this is the scene for this film for me. This is that one big, I really like the way that was directed scene. And that's the sunglasses scene for me. When you watch the movie, if you've seen the movie before, if you've seen the movie again, just let me know in the comment section down below if you noticed that scene, if that stood out to you the way that it did for me. Because the sunglasses scene, the way that was directed, it was incredible. Again, guys, this is the Minute Madness series, the DVD for The Initiation. I love this film. I would love to have the Arrow edition of this film in my collection. Hopefully someday I will. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the second film in the Halloween Horrorthon. There's much more to come, and I got some more videos to shoot tonight before I go to bed, and it's already after 1. So thanks for watching, guys. For me right now, if I'm going to get through this night, it is definitely time for tea. Happy October, happy Halloween, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.